19th, 1990. Our champion, Tone Forrest, is 2 steps away from an ultimate challenge worth $55,000. This is a director of student activities, Mary McGee, and this is a writer, Doug Molitor. Tone is the champion. Mary and Doug, you are the challengers. And now, here is your master of the challenge, Dick Clark.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
I hope you had a good weekend, and we welcome you to the Challengers. Today, Mary and Doug are going to do their best to see that Tone does not continue to be successful. It's nothing personal, Tone. You do realize that, of course. But everybody who wins 3 games in a row has the shot at our ultimate challenge, which is now at $55,000. And starting today, we're going to bump that money up $1,000 every day until it is won. And that'll amount to a fair amount of money. Good luck. In just a moment, I'm going to reveal the categories for the first half of play. First of all, we'll play that Challenger sprint round for control. Let me explain how it works. This is important only in the fact that you get control of who goes to the board first. There'll be a minute. We'll set our timer and all of that. And during that period, I'll toss as many questions at you as time permits. And as you know, many of our questions in our sprint round and the main part of the game come right out of today's news. We'll give you $100 for every correct answer. And if you've jumped in too fast or make a wrong answer, we take $100 away. The player with the most money when the time runs out will have the first selection from the category board. And if you're all set to play, we'll set the timer, please, for 1 minute. And let's begin. In a survey on air travel released this month, one of the best ratings was awarded to the National Airline of Australia. Name it. Mary.
Qantas.
Qantas is right. According to the title of a hot new home video release, where do all dogs go? Tone.
To heaven.
That's correct. Name the man who recently wrote his second book about business, subtitled Surviving at the Top. Doug.
Donald Trump.
Correct. Last week, you could have met with George Bush and Mikhail Gorbachev in what city? Tone.
Helsinki.
Correct. Pete Sampras won the men's U.S. Open tennis tournament. In the final, who'd he beat? Tone?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, time's up, and take Mary's answer, they say.
Boris Becker.
No, you are wrong. It was Andre Agassi. North Carolina Democrat Harvey Gantt is running for the U.S. Senate. Who is his Republican? Yes?
Jesse Helms.
Jesse Helms is his opponent. What former president is currently on a 10-day tour of Italy and Eastern Europe? Doug.
Jimmy Carter.
No, sir. Tone.
Reagan.
Correct. The National Party was just declared open. I'll finish the question. The National Party was just declared open to all races in 2 provinces of what troubled nation? Mary?
South Africa.
You are right. Congratulations. All right. We have a tie here. Mary and Tone, I'm going to dig one more answer out here. Put your hands on the buzzer. The person who gets it gets control of the game. In what Shakespearean play would you find a character named Iago? Tone?
Othello.
That is correct, sir, and you've got control of the game. You've got $300 in your account. Mary, you've got 2. Doug, you don't have anything there, but obviously that's going to change. You, 3 of you anyway, have money on the board, and for each of you, actually, Doug, you're included. We're not going to let you out of this thing. We'll open your own personal Citibank Visa account. The money you earn today will be deposited in that account. All the cash you earn and the benefits that go with your account are yours to keep, and we're ready to play the game. If you will, please, everybody look over here. We'll take a look at the subject categories. We've got cool names, movies now playing, poetic expressions, the 1990 Emmy Awards, La Belle France, and The Simpsons. And the first choice goes to Tone.
Okay, let's start with poetic expressions.
Poetic expressions. All right, let's see what we have here. For $150, the first question deals with couplets. The second for $200 is sonnets. The third is $250, and that's epics. And I'll remind you once again that the higher the dollar value, the more difficult the question. If you will, find that little electronic keyboard on your board there and decide on the question you'd like to answer now. 2 of you going for the epic question. Doug and Mary, we'll get to you in a second. Stand by. Tone, first off, for $200. It shouldn't take you a fortnight or a fortnight, as you prefer, to answer this one. Every sonnet has how many lines?
14.
You are right, sir. As many as a fortnight has. All right, Doug and Mary, up to the $250 challenge. The lofty Latin poet Virgil wrote Aeneid. The Greek poet Homer wrote the Iliad. What eminent British poet wrote Paradise Lost? Doug?
John Milton.
Yes, sir. You're right for $250. Doug, you have control now, and there are 5 subjects left over there.
Let's go with the 1990 Emmys.
The 1990 Emmys for $150. Let's see what we've got first off. The hosts for $200. The nominations for $250. The snubs. And if you will, pick one and wager right now. All right, 2 of you are going for the snubs. We'll get to that in a second. Tone, you have the question for $200 on the nominations. 1990's most nominated show picked up a total of 14 Emmy nods, including nominations for actress Piper Laurie and director David Lynch. Name the show.
Twin Peaks.
Your rights are for $200. Doug and Mary up to the $250 challenge. Two of America's top-rated shows are named after their star performers, both of whom were ignored by the Television Academy when the nominations were handed out. Bill Cosby was one. Name the other, Doug.
Roseanne Barr.
You got it. All right, sir. So far, so good. Tone, you're out in front with $700, and the other two are trailing along, and it'll all change in a moment or two as we come right back here on The Challengers. Have a good weekend, Mary?
Yeah, very good.
What do you do on the weekends?
Recover from the week.
What, you deal with the kids?
College students.
No wonder. It's a weekend to herself here. You have special people watching today. What's up?
Yes, my father's at home watching while he recovers from major surgery, and my mother's recovering from taking care of my father.
And they're both got their fingers crossed for you.
Yes.
Doug, you and I share something in common. I used to do impressions 1,000 years ago. Do you do the same thing?
Yes, I do.
What is your favorite?
The late great character actor, John Carradine.
Let me hear.
Good heavens, man, can't you see? That's the fiend who's murdered half the countryside. Frankenstein made him on a dead body.
All right. Man has hidden talents. Let's check your accounts here a second. As I mentioned, as we went into the commercial, Tone, you're ahead with $700. Doug close behind at 5, and Mary, you can do a little catching up in this round. Let's continue the game now. Doug, you'll do some selection over here of cool names. Movies now playing, La Belle France, and The Simpsons. What's
Let's
it
go
gonna
with
be?
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. All right, let's see what we have in store for you. For $150, we've got Bart. For $200, Homer. And for $250, Marge. Select one and make your wager. Two Marge questions over there with Mary and Doug. We'll go to Tone, first of all, for $150. Cowabunga, dude. Bart, it seems, is quite proud of his academic status, as proclaimed on his T-shirt. What one word describes his scholastic track record? I should have given that to Mary. You're in the school business. Do you have any idea what it was?
Underachiever.
Yeah, we can't give you any credit for it. Tone, you didn't get that one. I'm sorry to say. All right, Marge and Doug up for $250. You may be seeing Marge Simpson's mouth moving on the TV screen, but what real life... Yes, Doug?
Julie Kavner.
Julie Kavner is the real-life actress supplying the voice. You got it. Doug, you maintain control of the game. There's three subjects there.
Let's go with movies now playing.
Movies now playing. All right, for $150, the first question is about Pretty Woman. The second one for $200, The Jetsons. And for $250, Presumed Innocent. Select the movie you'd like to wager on now, if you would. Everybody gets a question this time, all right? Tone, for a $150 question on Pretty Woman, look to the video wall and we'll roll a clip from the hit film Pretty Woman. Please roll the clip.
Did we let you borrow this from the jewelry store?
I'm a very good customer.
You were going to buy this. How much would it cost?
$250,000.
All right. That was Richard Gere and the Pretty Woman herself, Julia Roberts. Richard got that necklace at a shop on Rodeo Drive in what upscale city?
Beverly Hills.
You're right, sir, for $150. For $200, the Jetson question, Mary. To get more music into the movie version of the Jetsons, the producers hired a teenage singer with a one-word name as the voice of Judy Jetson. What is that one-word name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany's right for $200. Doug for $250. Look to the video wall, if you will, sir, and let's look at a clip from the hit movie Presumed Innocent. If you will, roll the clip.
Savage! Well, you know one thing, Savage. I know.
Sure you do.
Go ahead, play cool. I know. You killed her. You're the guy.
Yeah, you're right. You're always right.
Now, Doug Harrison Ford has just been accused of murdering his lover. Name the sexy actress who plays his lover.
I can't pronounce it, but it's Greta Scacchi or
We'll
Scacchi.
take that. It is Scacchi. It is, we elected to take a lot of different pronunciations. We checked with her today, and apparently it's pronounced Scacchi. In any case, you got it. Doug, which one do you want now?
Let's go with cool names.
Cool names it is. Checking out the dollar values for $150. We've got Refrigerator Perry for $200, Jonathan Winters, and for $250, David Frost. Cool names, if you will. Select the one you want to go with. And Jonathan Winters gets two nods of approval from Mary and Tone. We have one question for the two of you. If you'll step up to the challenge for $200. Name the popular TV sitcom of the 80s which featured Jonathan Winters as the son of Robin Williams. Tone.
Mork and Mindy.
You're right, sir, for $200. Doug, for $250. In 1978, master interviewer David Frost shared a Grammy Award nomination with a former American president. Name the president.
Richard Nixon.
And the voice gets you $250 and the right answer. Now, let me see. Doug, you've got the lead with $1,250, and we'll be back in just a moment to play the second half of the game. And when we do, this is where we double the value of all of the questions, so don't go away.
Are verified by Newsweek magazine. And now, back to the challengers.
Thank you, Don Morrow. Welcome back, and as I mentioned, Doug, you're on front with $1,250. Mary, everybody, and usually when games are played, feels sorry for the underdog, and poor old Mary's got only $400. This is where you can change all of that. We've seen it happen. As a matter of fact, I think it was last week. A woman came from way behind and whipped the two men just right out of the picture at this point. So this is the spot in the second half of play where we double the value of all the questions. We've got 6 categories we're going to play with here. And Doug, again, you control the board, so let's review them all together. We've got hunks, tramp, 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 scenes of the crime, scene of the crime. TV this week, Saudi Arabia today, and say the secret word. Doug, what's your pleasure?
I'll go with TV this week.
TV this week. All right, let's see. The $300 question deals with NBC. The $400 question, CBS, and the $500 question, ABC. Select the network you want to gamble on and wager now. All right, 2 ABC questions over there with Doug and Mary. We'll come back to that in a moment. Tone for $400. Tonight is the season premiere of a new CBS situation comedy. It's based on a John Hughes film that starred John Candy. Name the film, and you name the sitcom.
Uncle Buck.
You're right, sir, for $400. Doug and Mary, step up to the challenge. Hands on the buzzer there. This Thursday on ABC, Father Dowling begins a new season of Father Dowling Mysteries. Who plays the father? Yes, sir.
Tom Bosley.
You're right, for $500. Doug, continue to select from the board, will you?
Let's go with Saudi Arabia today.
Saudi Arabia today for $300. The questions deal with the cities. For 4, the kings. For 5, the landmarks. Higher the value, of course, the more difficult the question. They've all made their wager, and the gentlemen are both going for the landmark question. We'll start with you, Mary, at $300. The largest city in tension-filled Saudi Arabia is also its capital. Name the city.
Riyadh.
You are right for $300. Gentlemen, step up to the $500 challenge. Saudi Arabia is home to 2 of the most sacred cities in Islam. One is Mecca, name the other. Tone?
Medina.
Medina's right. Very well done. Takes control of the game. You're out by $50 there in front. And which one's it going to be, Tone?
Oh, the scene of the crime.
The scene of the crime. I almost grabbed the wrong one here. Let's check them out. For $300, we've got Chicago and London and Los Angeles. Select the one you want to go with. And Tone is last in with the London, and you and Mary will play this one off, and Doug will get to you in a second. Tone and Mary have one question between you on London. London, November 1888. You're on the trail of Jack the Ripper. You suspect members of the royal household may be involved, but you don't want to scandalize the Queen. Name her. Mary.
Queen Victoria.
You're right for $400. For $500, Doug. The setting is Los Angeles in the 1940s, and you're a fictional detective in a book called The Little Sister. You just found a body in an apartment. Your next move now depends on the novelist who created you. Name him.
Raymond Chandler.
Yes, sir, you're right. For $500. That's some good, knowledgeable people working today. Doug, we've got hunks, tramp, 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 and say the secret word.
Say the secret word.
As Groucho used to do. All right. The first one for $300 in the Arabian Nights. Then we have words in Oz and words in war. $300 to $500. Select and wager. All right, the in-war questions, the holdout. Tone, Doug, and Mary. You've each gone for the $400 in Oz question. Stand by for $400. In The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy clicked her heels and said the secret words, "There's no place like home," she was magically transported back to her home state. Doug?
Kansas.
Kansas is right for $400. Tone for $500. Operation Overlord was the code name for an Allied offensive in World War II that was launched on an historic day. What special name do we call that day?
D-Day.
Yes, sir. You're right for $500. Tone, you've got it. Which of the last two?
I'm not touching hunks. Tramp, tramp, tramp.
All right. You don't know whether you want this one either. Let's look at the first tramp. Advent Kelly is the first tramp. The second one is Charlie Chaplin, and the third is Kelly Bundy. I did not write this question. Lady and gentlemen, if you would select the tramp you'd like to wager on, all right? All right, two Charlie Chaplin questions coming up from Mary and Tone. Actually, there's one question between you, and Doug will turn to you later. For $400, step up to the challenge. Tone, hands on the buzzer there. The little tramp Charlie Chaplin was in real life married to a woman named Una. She was the daughter of Mary, I didn't finish. I hope you got it.
Eugene O'Neill?
Right. Daughter of Eugene O'Neill, Nobel Prize-winning playwright. All right, Doug, for $500, on the TV show Married with Children, Kelly Bundy gives new meaning to the phrase, man's best friend. Name the actress who plays her.
Christina Applegate.
You're right, sir, for $500. You got it. And that sound, of course, means we're about to move into our final challenge of the day, and in this round you'll be able to wager any or all of your monies in your account on one final question of your choice, and the player that makes the highest wager will get to answer that question if you're ready. This is the final challenge of the day. It is Persian Gulf Crisis. Now, we're going to post odds. The higher the odds, the more difficult the question's going to be. And these are the questions. The first one deals with, at even odds, diplomatic moves. Your wager in the second go-round is worth double that on the leadership, and for 3 times your money, military operations. Now, let me give you a word of caution. You'll have 15 seconds to select your question and make your final wager of the day. And as you look down and look at that money, you're going to be seeing strategizing going on there because Mary's trailing. She's going to force these other guys into the corner. The only thing is, you're wagering with your own money. It's not house money. It's yours. The challenge is also yours. All right, it's time for everybody to declare. Mary, we'll start with you. You have $1,500 in the bank. What are you going to wager?
$495 on military operations.
All right, let's lock it in there. And Tone, we'll turn to you next. What's up with you with $2,300?
I wagered $2,000 on the leadership.
Wow, wow, wow. Practically everything he's got, and we've yet to hear from Doug. What's up with you, sir?
I wagered on military operations $3,150.
All of it. Oh, boy, you've outbid Mary. Mary, you're out of this race for the moment. The men will be back on questions with the leadership and military operations. If they fail, you'll be the winner, so it's not over. We got a lot of stuff coming down here right after this.
Back to the final challenge, and here's your host, Dick Clark.
Thank you, Don. We're about to play the final challenge. And let me tell you once again that the money our players accumulate in their accounts has a very special value. Don, it's up to you to tell us about it.
Thank you, Dick. All of today's players receive their winnings in a Citibank Visa account. They get all the distinct benefits and exclusive service that only Citibank provides.
And remember, players, you can do anything you want with the money in your account, including converting it into cash. And it's always interesting to see people gamble with their own money. Mary, you're not out of this by a long shot. Doug outbid you for the triple question. Therefore, he's going to go against Tone. And that's a race over there. I got to tell you, if this turns out, I don't know where it'll end up. Tone, of the $2,300 you had in the bank, you gambled $2,000 of it, giving you a grand total of $6,300. Yeah, this is a heart stopper, and the downside is not quite so much. But the upside is you're going to win a lot of money, we hope. The leadership, Persian Gulf crisis. On Friday, Secretary of State James Baker was in the Middle East for urgent discussions with President Hafez Assad for $6,300. Of what country is Assad the president?
Syria.
You are right, sir, for $6,300. Doug, it's up to you now. You gambled all of it at triple the value. If you get it, it's $9,450, or a grand total of $12,600. You will be the champion. If you lose it, it's Tone's game, and he'll be well on his way to that $55,000 challenge. Military operations. Over 100,000 American troops are now deployed in Saudi Arabia as part of a military operation known by an official two-word code name for $12,600. What are those two words?
Desert Shield.
You were right, sir, for $12,600. Congratulations. Let's tone it up here. And, Doug, you've got $12,600. Tone, your grand total is $7,800 for the 2 days. Congratulations. Mary, not all that bad. You've got $1,500. And, Doug, you'll be back to challenge 2 new players come tomorrow. We'll find out whether you can win your second straight game and get on the way to $56,000. Check in with us tomorrow here on the Challengers. For now, Dick Clark. So long.
Some contestants today will receive Q-Vel to prevent painful nighttime leg cramps with Q-Vel. It helps stop leg cramps before they start. Q-Vel. Shout now, wash later with Power Stick Shout. Want tough stains out? Power Stick Shout. It's the pick of sticks. It's here. The next generation in salon-style nail lengtheners. Brush on like polish. Gel Formula Lee sculptured nails. And Idaho and O'Brien potatoes. Dress up any meal and put a smile on every face. Enjoy Ohio brand potatoes today. And introducing Jovan Musk Active, the line of aftershaves and deodorants for the man on the go. Jovan Musk Active for every day. This is Don Morrow speaking. The Challengers is a Ron Greenberg production in association with Dick Clark Productions.